What do you think needs to happen to move from where we are right now to a period where we can look at progress? Because we have heard
That's
the
a good
Americans
question.
now, we've heard the Americans talking for months about a deal that is this close to being signed, one that they said that the Israelis supported and Hamas refused and walked away. Now we have the Israeli Prime Minister saying he's changing the terms of what he's accepting the deal. How do you get there?
I think that the United States of America, with its massive influence over Israel and massive influence of states in the Middle East, is capable of playing an honest broker. They need to be decisive, they need to be fair, and they need to listen to the sentiment of the American people in campuses, universities, in the streets, and to listen to the great majority position of almost everyone at the United Nations. Most of them are friends of the United States of America. They're not making this position because the Palestinian delegation is magicians and they are playing with their minds and making them vote the way they do in favor of justice for the Palestinian people. There is something in the air. People want justice for the Palestinians. People want this war and this conflict to end. People want the occupation to end because it's good for Israel and it's good for the Palestinians. This is what's happening. We need courageous, firm, and wise men to say this is the time that peace is going to happen.
One of my concerns is that you have organizations on the far right in Israel that are not interested in having Palestinians in Gaza have humanitarian aid. They're interested in having them leave so that they can occupy that territory. You have Hamas that's not interested in making life easier in Gaza. They want the Israelis to be responsible for more humanitarian atrocities and more war crimes because it makes Hamas stronger. That when you have the two principles that are adversaries that benefit politically from more crimes and more crisis, doesn't it make it a lot harder to resolve?
That is dangerous because in all those criminals in the past, including the Holocaust, they gave justification for their evil, action. And if we descend to the logic of the extremists, those cruel anti-humanitarian,
on both sides of the conflict,
on any side, okay, then you will not be focusing on what needs to be done and solutions and humanitarian projects. We will be focusing on the political and ideological justification of those criminals and try really to give them leeway to continue doing what they're doing. There should not be leeways, the justice for these crimes that we said in the past, never again. But when we say never again by anyone. No one has a special way of committing it against others. Never again against anyone, regardless of who the anyone is. We should not allow genocide to take place against any people or any group in any place under the sun, and to go after those who are committing these crimes, regardless of their background and their history.